frames, switch lanes, Batman, Bruce Wayne, and I was like, feeling like I'm Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words hot like two flames. Front night ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Oh Lord, he done been here before. Know the city so big can take you on a tour. Money so big, can buy any store. If you want more, supply you some more. Take you on a trip, leave your bags at the door. Said that she let them well, not anymore. Fuck a nigga floating on so high that I saw. Ain't shit new, man, it seem make me bored. Make a king mad, be surprised when he roar. Can a young nigga make money anymore? Throw the money up, watch the money hit the floor. Niggas say they hit and watch jazz hit the door. Fresh Prince, nah, I really had to feel. Had to feel, had to feel, had to feel. Be around motherfuckers so real. Kryptonite is love when they can't get you killed. Ask you again, just tell me how I feel. That's on my chest, so she saying like still. I'm like still, like still, like still. She like still, like still, like still. Batman, I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words hot like two flames. Niggas ain't got time for all the mood swings. Frontin' on the nigga, is that how we do things? Oh, word. Look, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, nicks and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Being great since the basics of many things. I fall short when looking at my enemies. Try to grade it, your way in my memories. Welcome to the land of the wrong way to get into me. Can't stand still on islands of complicity. You looking at the nigga that you wish you could pretend to be. But I'm not really king, the kid's not mine. But you gon' remember me. Yeah, look. And I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words out like two flames. Front now, they ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. No sir, yeah. Do you remember me? Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Yeah. Whoa. God. Yeah. Gold frames. Switch lanes. Batman. Bruce Wayne. And I was like, feeling like I'm Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words hot like two flames. Front night ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Oh Lord, he done been here before. Know the city so big can take you on a tour. Money so big, can buy any store. If you want more, supply you some more. Take you on a trip, leave your bags at the door. Said that she let them well, not anymore. Fuck a nigga floating on so high that I saw. Ain't shit new, man, it seem make me bored. Make a king mad, be surprised when he roar. Can a young nigga make money anymore? Throw the money up, watch the money hit the floor. Niggas say they hit and watch jazz hit the door. Fresh Prince, nah, I really had to feel. Had to feel, had to feel, had to feel. Be around motherfuckers so real. Kryptonite is love when they can't get you killed. Ask you again, just tell me how I feel. That's on my chest, so she saying like still. I'm like still, like still, like still. She like still, like still, like still. Batman, I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words hot like two flames. Niggas ain't got time for all the mood swings. Frontin' on the nigga, is that how we do things? Oh, word. Look, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, nicks and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Being great since the basics of many things. I fall short when looking at my enemies. Try to grade it, your way in my memories. Welcome to the land of the wrong way to get into me. Can't stand still on islands of complicity. You looking at the nigga that you wish you could pretend to be. But I'm not really king, the kid's not mine. But you gon' remember me. Yeah, look. And I'm feeling like
Bruce Wayne. Young spitters words hot like two flames. Oh no, they ain't really how we do things. Ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. Went to sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Yeah. Yo, what's up, everybody? It is Thursday. Actually, no, it's not even Thursday. It's Hump Day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How is everybody doing today? I know I am extremely well this morning. Why, you ask? 'Cause one more day away till I go to Texas. Yes, we're going to Texas, everybody. We're about to go all the way to the Lone Star State. I know it's hot down there. I know there's lots of Rona and stuff going on, but like I've been talking about, you got to connect with your family. We gotta figure out how to be together. And what's up, Danny? You're here right off the bat. First comment in the Twitch stream and everything. But yes, like I said, I'm excited because we're going to Texas. We're going to do the show in Texas. And we're going to do, we might even stream a lot different things. We might not. We'll see. We will see. That is for sure. But, yeah, I want everybody out there to get happy. Like I said, it's hump day. Hump. Yeah. All right. Like I said, as y'all might have read in the description, it says today is a show with a twist. I was going to have a special guest on today, but just due to circumstances, we weren't able to do that. So, it's okay, but we're not going to get hung up or caught up on that. Why, you ask? Because there's so much more and so much more we can talk about and so much more we can do. So, I appreciate everybody coming in and being here with me right now already. Can we get an air horn for those people? I didn't hear it, but it's cool. Oh, I know why. My screens are backwards. I'm over here trying to scroll from one screen to the other, and for some reason it wasn't going. That's because they're backwards. I had to move some stuff out of my way this morning. Like I said, I'm taking the show on the road with me. We about to go to Texas, and we about to do things, have a good old time. Like I said, I might do a vlog video, I might not. It just depends on how I manage my time, with my fam and stuff like that, and what we decide to do, and everything. But yeah, so what was I about to? I know, that's the people at that staffing place. That's funny whenever iPhone puts up maybe it could be this person's name, and stuff. Oh wow, why is it acting like I'm so low? There we go. There you go. But yeah. That was good sip, very good sip. I'm trying to forgive me. I was just trying to look up exactly the other things that I was going to get into this morning, other than, like I said, having this guest. Because for one, oh, that was interesting. But yeah. So what me and my guests were going to talk about was actually, it was mostly my guest who was going to help steer the conversation, because he was the one who brought it to my attention. I don't want to spoil the topic or anything. Granted, I don't remember exactly what the exact word verbatim phrase that he used when he brought it to my attention, but yeah, I did want to. He said, "Do you feel like as black people we are we subject ourselves to suppression," or something along those lines, or basically like just by being black we do we just allow ourselves to, ultimately, I guess, do we allow ourselves to live up to stereotypes and things of that nature? And I just in the slight discussion we had, I just brought up the fact that a lot of people feel like black males aren't generally staying there for their kids or their youth, or they're not black dads are generally not there. And we were just talking about that from that premise, and how people tend to try to make it seem like every black person lives into that stereotype, when it's funny because a lot of the black families I know, or people I'm associated with, they grew up with both their parents, and even if their parents were divorced or anything, like I said, both of their parents were still active in their lives. And my cousin was telling me, like, yeah, it's funny how somebody I've grown up with. He even tried to tell me the other day that his daddy wasn't there. And he was like, "What do you mean your daddy wasn't there? Your dad wasn't there?" He's like, I actively remember us going and doing stuff with your dad. I know your dad." He's like, "How you gonna tell me that he wasn't there? Like, he was there. He just wasn't. He might not have been the man you wanted him to be, but he was there." And there's a saying how some people actually try so hard, or they're so used to hearing like a stereotype or something of that nature, that they find a way for it to play into their life, or and ultimately we need to stop living up to these stereotypes in any shape or form. We need to find a way. I'm not saying to justify things, to try and classify them not as stereotypes. If something is a stereotype, let it be known. Why is it that I knew that was about to happen? I knew that was about to happen. This one. Why? I'll put it here. No, make it smaller. Hold on 1 second, you guys. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, people try so hard to make themselves fit into certain stereotypes or stuff like that. Like I said, growing up in middle school and stuff, I knew a lot of kids who like to pretend like they were from certain neighborhoods or stuff like that, or they would make up, I guess you can say, blocks in a sense. Or they would make up or turn their neighborhood into what they would call a hood, because they wanted to be associated with something so gangster, so bad, because they just thought that was cool. And also stereotypically, like, black people were, or at least black males are generally looked at as potential gangbangers. I know that's one of the many thoughts that crosses some people's mind, or particular people's mind, whenever they see a young black male, especially one who maybe is dressed in nicer clothes. Even if he's not sagging his pants, or he is sagging his pants, they still look at them as some sort of gangster or something like that. And if they're not sagging their pants and they have nice jewelry on, then they're looked at to be like some sort of, maybe like a rapper, or some sort, or maybe a drug dealer or something like that. Because it is funny, because my girlfriend was telling me about the some of the houses that she's lived in over the course of her life, or some of the places that her family has moved, just because of work or whatever. And they were telling me how they had this one house that they built, and since they had the freedom to build the house, they could build it the way they wanted to. And at the time, the city that they were living in didn't have a particular ordinance, or ordinance put in place about how big your house could be. So they had a lot, and they proceeded to build the biggest house in the neighborhood. After completion of this house and everything, the neighbors that lived next to them began to feel envious of this black couple, successful black couple, that is doing and making necessary steps to, allow them to have the financial freedom to build a house in California. So, with that comes, like I said, with the envy and hate, comes, what's the word I'm looking for? But, the actions behind those things. And, their neighbor proceeds to, just do ugly things and, put out such a negative energy towards them. And, like I said, he began to, project a stereotype onto them and say, oh, they must be drug dealers, or oh, they must be, this or that. It's, people like them can't, get to where they're at on, hard work and determination. They have to, probably have gotten it through ill-gotten gains in some sort of way. And like I said, like, that's a stereotype that we have to ultimately, like, do those things and prove to these people that we can and are able to get to this level on a what's a legitimate in a legitimate fashion. Basically, we don't have to go about it in an ill-gotten way or get, use ill-gotten gains to reach this level of success. We ultimately have the power within us, and we just have to exert the energy out there to ultimately reap the benefits of the positive, like I said, positive energy. Ultimately, yesterday, that's what I was talking about a lot, so that's why I'm using those terms like positive energy. Reap the benefits of, you put that positive energy out there, and you'll be able to receive it back. Like I said, ultimately, you have to take in some other people's negative energy and be able to channel it in a positive way, so that this way you can exert a positive energy and so on. But like I said, you don't want to live up to particular stereotypes. You don't want to fall into those categories of those stereotypes, and you ultimately don't want people to allow themselves to think of themselves like a stereotype or anything like that. Like a lot of people have done a lot of powerful and wonderful things just off of the fuel that not living up to a stereotype has given them. Like I can say, most all Spike Lee movies are, what's the word I'm looking for? They basically were formed from the pushback of, black stereotypes. Like I said, he doesn't want it to seem like, black people are just angry for no reason. Like, he made Do the Right Thing to show, like, it's not black people are angry, it's that black people have to go through so much, and even on the hottest day of the summer, and you're still having to deal with all this other stuff. Like, eventually something's going to break, something's going to budge. It's not that people are just angry, or people are just these stereotypes. Hey, how are you doing, mommy? But yeah, it's not like these people are these stereotypes, or they're even trying to live up to those stereotypes. They ultimately, like I said, it's just showing all the push that's getting pushed onto those people, all the stereotypes that are around them that they are trying to fight against. And they like I said, a lot of people have seen that movie. She's Got to Have It, but Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. Like I said, it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Let me go use the restroom. Okay. All right, now we're back. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't want to live up to stereotypes or be a stereotype. You don't want people to think of you as a stereotype or people around you who look like you as a stereotype. Just because, in some cases, you might be able to predict what somebody's going to do just solely off of who they are and stuff like that, but allow that judgment to be passed off of actually knowing that person, not off of a what's the word I'm looking for, basically a pre-thought or pre-thought is not a good word because I don't think that's actually not a word, but a predetermined mindset or a predetermined thought. Basically, don't allow yourself to pass judgment off of something you think that somebody's gonna do solely off of their race or just because like I said, why are my comments assumption? Yeah, don't make assumptions about people. That's one of the words that I could have used, definitely. Where is my and why? Let's put everything on the screen here. But then it's so actually, you know what? Let's put it there. Let's see. Can I test it really quick? Okay. Well, it's not working like I wanted to, but it's cool. I don't care. Oh, wait, can I do it? Can I test it like this? Okay, yeah. That's cool. And what about, can I? Whatever. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I just want to make sure that I can see them when they pop up, the comments on the screen. Just a real quick test. What was I about to say? But yeah, like I said, but yeah, like I was saying, to start or hold on, I just gotta get this. It's gonna bother me. Hold on. Okay. It came up right there. That's all I wanted. Cool. Alright, yeah. So, like I was saying, you don't want to pass judgment about people who don't want to, you don't want to pass judgment about people you don't know, I guess, or make an assumption about what they're going to do just solely off of, like, things that you can see about them. Like I said, their race, height, gender, stuff like that. Like, you don't want to make assumptions or prejudgments just based off the fact that somebody's a woman or something like that. Even though you can, in some cases, there are, certain things that you can make a fair assumption, but it's not your job to make like I said, it's not your job to make that assumption on a person. Like I said, you can assume that if you see a woman with a flat tire on the side of the road, you can assume that she needs help and be polite enough to stop and ask, hey, do you need some help? But regardless, if you see a woman or a man on the side of the road, you should still do the same thing. And that's where it ultimately changes, whether you're actually making a passing a prejudgment, or you're actually just doing, putting in the same action no matter the circumstances of, what it is that's going on. Like I said, and who it is, all part of the circumstances. So yeah, like I said, no matter if it's a man broke down on the side of the road, if it's a woman, if it's a, anything like that, if they're driving a truck or if they're driving a car, because like I said, anybody could use the help. It doesn't mean that they don't need the help. Like I said, you can't assume that, because they're a woman that they do need help, and you can't assume because they're a man that they don't need help. I know plenty of men who still don't know how to change a tire, and I know plenty of women who do know how to change a tire. Now, with talking about stereotypes and, passing a prejudgment, there's a part of it that goes into play that it actually is a huge thing about it, and it's the part where people allow themselves to be helpless. I guess when we're talking about, like, since I used the example of like a man or a woman getting stuck on the side of the road and you offering your assistance, like you said, in some of those cases, and sometimes people, this is why I'm telling everybody not to allow yourselves to fall into particular stereotypes and things like that, because there are plenty of people who are out there just taking advantage of the fact that, they fall into a particular stereotype. I know plenty of women who will openly tell you that, yeah, I know how to change a tire. My dad taught me how to change a tire. My mom taught me how to change a tire. Whoever taught them how to change a tire taught them how to change a tire. And they can get out and do it. They have the physical strength to do it. Now, do they want to get out and do it? No. They'll call, even though they know how to do it, they'll call somebody to come and do it, and and even allow that person to think that they don't know how to do it, just because, like I said, they don't want to. They're lazy, or not. I'm not even gonna just put out that they're lazy, but they know that they have somebody that will help them, and they just outright don't want to do it. And like I said, I don't want to use this and point a finger and say that people or that women in general are, people who are taking advantage of this, but I'm pointing this out for the sole purpose that we can recognize in one small place where people will utilize, like I said, those things and stuff like that, or the simple fact that, you go to particular neighborhoods, it's predominantly a particular class of people or a particular race of people, and I feel like a lot of us have come to this situation where you go to maybe a Hispanic food market, and the people behind the counter, it's a Hispanic food market. Majority of the people who work there are Hispanic, if not everybody. 9 out of I'm gonna say maybe 9 out of the 10. But that's me also passing judgment, which I shouldn't do, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm telling. But to explain it, you have to explain where judgment is being passed and explain how. I'm just basically just trying to paint the full picture. Like I said, a lot of us have probably gone to Hispanic food markets and not been treated exactly the same as somebody else who speaks fluent Spanish. Sometimes it just might be due to a language barrier or something small like that. But I'm just using this as an example. And in that case, like I said, part of it is the heritage, and then part of it is just willing to help. I've gone to Hispanic food markets where the people there, like I said, they might not be able to fully understand me, and I might not be able to fully understand them, but their disposition and everything going towards me being there and all that was ultimately felt positive. I felt positive energy coming from them. Hopefully they could feel the positive energy coming from me, and that's what that's one of the things I'm trying to point out, is just like the exchange of energy in situations like those where you find yourself in a falling under the category of a particular stereotype, or in a situation where you could pass a stereotypical judgment on something and stuff like that. And like I said, if we can ultimately just take those small moments and alter the energy switch and everything, like I said, that's a small part in doing away with all this just negative energy that constantly flows, through everything. I have a comment down here that says they do have those Mexican grocery stores everywhere. That's Tex-Mex, Fiesta Market, Michoacana, and Supermarket. Laugh out loud. Yeah, like I said, that's why I use that as an example, because like I said, you find those a lot. They're amazing stores to go to. You find pretty amazing produce, and sometimes you find stuff, discover new things that you weren't eating already at your house. And like I said, the people at the store, they're completely helpful. They can introduce you into new things. Like I said, I didn't want to use that and make it a negative example at all. I hope I did a good job in not painting, going there in a negative light. I just use that as an example because I guess in my life, that's one of the few times that I can definitely say that I feel, some of the stereotypical judgment being passed. And it's not like I blame anybody. Like I said, I do my fair share of pre-assumption and passing prejudgment and stuff like that. I try to solely base it off of the things that I know about people, but also a lot of times, like I said, this is why I openly can speak about it, because I can easily say that I can see, like I said, I easily can pass a judgment or tell somebody or somebody else what this particular person is about to do just by watching them and studying their mannerisms and little things like that. But that is a whole different ballpark opposed to I guess you can say passing a real, like a judgment or a stereotypical judgment. Like I said, that's why I try to use the factual things I can see about a person. But like I said, a lot of those things do kind of play a part in the stereotypes. Like I said, you can easily say, if you see a Hispanic person, and they say, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to try and get some lunch, and you know what's in the area or whatever, and they ask you, hey, what's in the area, I would not doubt that majority of people, especially people who love Hispanic food, if a Hispanic person asks them, they're going to tell them the Hispanic choices first, aside from, your obvious McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, because like I said, those are generic choices. Like I said, if anybody asks you, one of the first things a lot of people say is, oh, there's a McDonald's down the street. Some people have their pre-assumed judgment about McDonald's. But I wouldn't say as a pre-assumed judgment, because McDonald's can vary. Like I said, their locations some locations use different ingredients just due to what's available in that area and so on and so forth. McDonald's does ship their products all over the world, but you do have to understand some foods can't travel all the way across the world, some foods have to be kind of locally done. And but yeah, so but what was I going to say? But yeah, back to the original and initial kind of question. I wouldn't say as a minority, but I think his question, my cousin's question was, as a black person, do you feel like we subject ourselves to oppression or something of that nature? Like I said, but yeah, I'm trying to get this question up on the screen. We'll just say, do we subject ourselves to stereotypes? Sorry about that. I was just I had to ask my, oh wow, my other light went out. That's all. I was like, what the heck? So wow. No. Box. Boom. There we go. Do we subject ourselves to stereotypes? Or should we say, do we live? Do you live up to the stereotype? We'll leave it at that for right now. I like it like that. It's fine. It's cool. I'm not tripping. Let's leave it. Lock that down. Okay, so yeah, like I said, so this is our question of the day. Do we subject ourselves to stereotypes? Do you find yourself putting yourself in a situation where somebody can put you in the place of a stereotype or put you in a stereotype? Do you find yourself being tested as a black person in particular situations, preferably at like I said, when I say tested, I guess just kind of what is the word? What is that phrase that I'm thinking of? When somebody tries to play you ultimately, or they I want to say test your intelligence, but that's not the phrase that I'm looking for. Are you trying to basically, like, if somebody's trying to play you for a fool, or like things that you don't know what you actually know, and they just try to get over on you, like if somebody sold you, like, you go to the store or something, the sales associate, he has this maybe his boss is getting on him about selling these watches, right? And he has this watch that just came back as a return, and his boss is like, see, you did this return, you shouldn't have done it, you should have made the lady keep it, now we're in the hole, da 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 da, and we still got all these other watches you need to sell. And so instead of, selling the brand new watches, the first customer who comes in, you just decide, oh, okay, well, he's on me about this watch that we're losing money on, and you know how much it's worth, and you know how much you can sell it for, and you manage to sell it to a lady and tell her it's brand new, and granted, in reality it's really a return, and you're just trying to make that money back, and like I said, push that sale. Like I said, and that's just the salesperson, getting pushed to do that. And like I said, and you walk in, and that person, like he said, he doesn't know that, you might work at the company that makes these, and you're trying to buy one because, you work at this company, you've been wanting one for a while. You're like, oh yeah, I work at the company that makes these. The guy doesn't know that. He tries to sell you this, halfway broken used one and tell you it's basically brand new, and just tell you you're gonna get a deal on it, and you're looking at it and you're like, you're not giving me no deal. This is like a open boxed, somebody messed this one up. I want a brand new one, and I want you to give it to me at the price you're promising me from this one at, because now you're trying to play with me. You're testing my intelligence. You're trying to ultimately just trying to get over on you. And like I said, he looked at you, that salesperson. That's what they tell salespeople. That's how they train salespeople, to look at people, pass a prejudgment on them, and say, oh, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Like a server, always. As a server, I can tell you this firsthand, that you always pass a prejudgment on somebody. But when I was a server, I would give people the benefit of the doubt, and I would also educate people on, like the service that I'm giving them. I'm not just giving them this service and, I'm going to get paid, just like they get paid at their job. Like, hey, I want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all coming out today. I don't make money unless y'all come out to into the tables and stuff like that. So everything I do, I appreciate it. If you could, appreciate me. I'm not so straightforward with it and just outright tell people like, hey, tip me, because I don't make money. But I get them talking, get them telling them information about myself. They tell me information about them. I tell them, hey, like, this, that, and the third, this is how this works, this is how that works, or whatever. And like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And you educate people. So this way, this time they come out, they might tip you this much. Next time they come out, they might be prepared to tip you more, because they see how hard it is that you're working. They start to realize what it is you're doing. And like I said, and back to making a prejudgment on people. People make that prejudgment already about servers and think they know how much they're making and how hard they're actually working and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes to being being a server that people don't realize. And like I said, y'all make the prejudgment. You're like, oh yeah, well, it's their job to do that, and they're supposed to work for this tip and all this other stuff. And that's ultimately one of the prejudgments that we need to stop doing. But to stay on track of what I was talking about, like I said, as a server, they train you, and as a salesperson, they train you to pass a prejudgment on people. You have to gauge, or the terms that they really use is they want you to gauge where the customer is at, so you can help persuade them into buying whatever it is that you're selling. If you're selling your service, you want to gauge how this person is feeling. You want to ultimately, if they're feeling sad, you want to kind of cheer them up a little bit. If they're already happy and in a good mood, you want to keep that good mood going. You don't want to do anything to throw a rock at their parade or anything like that. You don't want to just ruin their time. So like I said, you keep that going. Hopefully they'll pass on that positive energy through their pockets as a server, like I said, and all that good stuff. Like I said, it's a lot to think about when you're talking about passing prejudgment and stuff like that. And as people, I feel like there's so much stuff for us to pay attention to at the same time that we're just trying to live life without ultimately overthinking things. And if you're constantly having to think about these things, it becomes overwhelming and you can put blocks on yourself. So like I said, keep it moving, keep your mind moving, and actively realize what it is you're doing. If you actively do this and practice it, it can become, firsthand. And like I said, I think that was the beginning of this month. We started out with the 21 days to start a habit. Like I said, it all comes back to that. Like I said, if we're creating positive habits and you do these things, and it becomes a habit, this way you don't have to actually think about what it is that you're doing or who it is that you could be affecting. You just put out that you create a positive habit, which creates and ultimately will promote positive energy and put it out into the world. Like I was saying yesterday about, your output and inputs, basically with energy of positive energy that you put out and you take in, and the negative energy that you put out and you ultimately take in. And like I said, you got to the world will balance it out, whether it balances solely with you and you get a 50-50, or you're just 100% positive energy, or you could be 100% negative energy. Or your split could be a 75-25 split, but just know there's somebody else out there who's got that 75-25 split, and they might balance you out. That's kind of the whole thing when people talk about soulmates and stuff like that, because there's a lot of energy and you want to ultimately find somebody who balances your energy, and you give them enough positive energy to actively function and, be a light, I guess you can say, in a sense, to the world. So this way y'all equal each other out to give out a soul, like a 50-50, and it's a nice flow of positive energy flowing from the two of you. And like I said, you're putting out that positive energy into the world, so that ultimately the rest of the world can equal out and they can get their dosage of positive energy that they need to thrive as a human being. And like I said, not have to absorb so much negative energy. But like I said yesterday, and how I explained it yesterday with the positive and negative energy flow, like I said, it was a whole conversation yesterday. But ultimately, like I said, you want to put out that positive energy, take in as much negative energy as your patience can handle. So this way it's not so much negative energy within the world. Like I said, if we can actively do our part to keep a positive flow, and take in as much negativity and put out as much positivity, and put out the right amount of negative energy to promote positive things. Like I said yesterday, I kind of explained how like people can go through really bad situations and ultimately live in a negative space for a long time. Eventually you have to they have that term, minor setback for a major comeback. Like I said, you can you could grow up in a hard situation and ultimately do what it takes, and it can fuel you to do what you have to make your life better and put yourself into a positive energy, and things like that. So but yeah, like I was saying, ultimately get yourself to a point where you are putting out that positive energy, a nice flow of positive energy out into the world. But yeah, that's a good, I like that. That's a good place to stop at for now. As far as today's conversation and everything, just a quick little recap for those of you who might only just catch the last 10 minutes and stuff like that. how we got to me just talking about the flow of positive energy and everything I was talking about yesterday. The question of the day was, do we subject ourselves to stereotypes? And ultimately, the first question that I rose with that was just, people who try so hard to be something they're not, or, back up. Like I said, do you subject yourself to stereotypes? My example was back in middle school, people tried so hard to associate themselves with something gangster, be gangbangers and stuff like that, just to associate themselves with something what they would call hard and stuff like that, which is a stereotype that a lot of people pass towards black men and stuff like that. And I would say that's one example of people subjecting themselves to a stereotype. Like I said, those kids ultimately, they come from a home, whether their home is a good, positive upbringing home or not. Like I said, they come from a home, and what you portray yourself at school is whatever you portray yourself at school, because that's one of the places where you can paint a picture of yourself. That's not the complete picture of who you are. Like I said, and just using that example to explain one case where people do subject themselves to stereotypes, I went on to explain how we shouldn't allow ourselves to subject ourselves to stereotypes, and how some cases we find ourselves in situations where we pass pre-assumptions and prejudgments towards people. And like I said, that's where stereotypes are created and they come from. And generally, things that we see people of a certain nature do a lot, or and so on. But yeah, ultimately, I was just saying you got to do the things to change that. And ultimately, like I said, I broke it down into a example of, like I said, if you don't want to stereotype people or pass a prejudgment. So like I said, if you see a woman on the side of the road who needs help or has a flat tire or something of that nature, you don't want to you should just stop and help that lady, because like I said, that would be the right thing to do. And do the same if it's a gentleman. You don't want to pass the pre-assumption or prejudgment, or ultimately creating stereotypes. You want to just do the same thing for both people, whether it's a woman or a man, like I said, because if you live up to the stereotype that women can't change tires or can't fix things, like I said, and you don't actively do the things to just change that in a way, like I said, so use the same act towards both. And like I said, I ultimately brought that around to the 21 days to create a new habit. Like I said, if you're gonna help somebody, just help somebody. Don't pass a pre-assumptive judgment on that person before you want to help them, because you feel like they're going to be this type of person, that type of person. They need your help, they don't need your help. Like I said, if you want to help, just help. Don't pass presumptive judgment, because that's ultimately where stereotypes come from and stuff like that. And if we do this small step, and like I said, use the 21 days to create a new habit, forget an old habit, then we can ultimately start putting out a good level of positive energy in the world, which will help change all the negative energy that's being put out into the world, all the things that we see on the news, and ultimately I don't know if this small step will change coronavirus or anything like that, but even if it allows people to keep their chivalry and stuff like that, like I said, create that new habit and people, chivalry will be restored and stuff like that. And, we might be able to restore our faith in man, something I've said in the past, and stuff like that. Like I said, put out that positive energy. Stop putting out so much negative energy. If you create good, positive habits and you create good, positive ways to put out positive energy and so on. Like I said, I think I tied that all back around. I tried to cram it into that 5 minutes right there so I can give myself a second to talk about the fact that y'all can look me up at J for the Dub on YouTube, and you can catch the live stream there. What? That's crazy. Yeah, we made that happen. So now we stream live on 3 platforms at one time. We have us here on Twitch, here on Facebook, and we're live on YouTube currently right now. Like I said, we're growing this platform. We're getting there. We're making the next steps. Like I said, soon enough we will be in regular podcast form where you can check me out on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or whatever. I don't know where they put their podcast. I think it's just Apple Podcasts. You can catch me on Podcast, Spotify, and stuff like that. We're not there yet. We're almost there. I just need the money. And I don't want to start getting on here and just asking for donations and stuff like that. Not just yet. I want to get a bigger following. And, like I said, just get people more actively engaging in the conversation, get more people thinking. Before we get to that point, like I said, there's certain things that I feel like I should be able to do on my own and I should make happen on my own before I start asking you guys for help. Because if I can't do it by myself, then what makes me say that I'm going to be better with somebody else's help? But yeah, so as I say every day, I appreciate everybody for coming out. You like, comment, subscribe, share, follow. Like I said, over there on YouTube, go over there, subscribe to J for the Dub. You can also subscribe to my other page, Jordan Dobbs. That's where you can also catch a lot of the episodes that return. The previous episodes, I will still be posting them on there, even though we catch a live stream from here. I know it's gonna water down my views in a sense, but also I want to be able to reach a lot more people. And I feel like if my content is constantly being captured on multiple platforms at one time, it gives those platforms a way to advertise me in their own way, not just advertise the same link over and over, because then I have to rely on people, on all of you guys, solely on all of you guys and myself to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this helps you and me get out there and spread my message and spread, ultimately just help people reach me, or help me reach the people a lot easier. Like I said, if there's over on YouTube, if it's straight up on YouTube and all you have to do on YouTube is share and it goes straight on YouTube, nobody has to jump to a whole nother website, so on and so forth, make new profiles just to watch my video. I know a lot of people aren't trying to go over to Twitch just to watch. That's why I came to Facebook. That's why I'm on YouTube. Those are 2 easy platforms that people are already familiar with. So like I said, if you're on Facebook already, make sure every day that you get in, as soon as you get into the video, I want you to share it. If you can share it for me, like I said, that'll do numbers and go a long way. And it gives you your recognition when you share it. It'll pop up on the screen and it'll be on the video for forever. So if you share it, it'll pop up with your name on the video. That'll give you some publicity too, just to let you guys know, understand a little bit of how it works. If there's something that you want people to also see, like I said, by you sharing my video and sharing my stream, it also helps get you out there, because you're sharing it brings attention to me And like I said, if you're actively in these comments, you're actively here liking it, it's going to pop up on the video, and it's going to always be in the video. So when you share that video the next time, or if somebody else sees the video that I made last week or that I'm making today, and they see it next week, they're going to see you in the comments. They're going to see you on the screen. It's going to pop up with your name there, said such and such and such. And they're going to go be like, hey, I like this person's opinion. I like this person, what they're saying to Jordan. They're going to go, actually, I'm going to follow you guys. Like I said, this is just how you get yourself out there. And by getting yourself out there, you're actively helping me get myself out there and out here. Like I said, I'm here trying to do this. I'm really gunning to making this a big success. I want you guys who are watching me here at the beginning, Danny, my mom, Jared, my dad, Applejack, all of you guys, people who come in my comments on a more daily basis, the people who are over at Twitch who randomly pop in, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Even the trolls who come in and like I said, I had somebody the other day come in and say I looked like DN, and I fell for it. I did. But it's cool. Even those people, though, even just pop in for a split second, it does wonders. Like I said, but if y'all could like, comment, subscribe, share, all that, I would appreciate it so much. My name is Jay for the dub. We are everything. See you guys on the road. Like I said, remember, I'm gonna be on the road tomorrow, so the show will be on the road. It might be a short show just due to being on the road, battery lives and so on and so forth, but don't fret, we will still be here. It should be interesting. I said babe will be in the car, so much that will be going on. Like I said, tune in next week, because all next week we will be in Texas. We'll be doing the show in Texas. I'll probably, most likely, have a guest on my show every single day next week. Why? Because there's a lot of people who want to be on my show. There's certain ways that I can get them in here, and there's certain ways to connect with people. But the easiest way is when you're in their face. Like I said, I'm going to be in the face of a lot of people next week. So my show will be on, and like I said, probably have a couple of guests on. Like I said, I'm trying to end this, so appreciate you guys for coming out. See you next time.
Spit the words out like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. No sir, yeah. Do you remember me? Rap down and just a mix of remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Yeah. Whoa. God. Yeah. Gold frames. Switch lanes. Batman. Bruce Wayne. And I was like, feeling like I'm Bruce Wayne. Young spit the words hot like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Oh Lord, he done been here before. Know the city so big and take you on a tour. Money so big, can buy any store. If you want more, supply you some more. Take you on a trip, leave your bags at the door. Said that she let them well, not anymore. Fuck a nigga floating on so high that I saw. Ain't shit new, man, it seem made me bored. Make a king mad, be surprised when he roar. Can a young nigga make money anymore? Throw the money up, watch the money hit the floor. Niggas say they hit and watch jazz hit the door. Fresh Prince, nah, I really had to feel. Had to feel. Be around motherfuckers so real. Kryptonite is love when they can't get you killed. Ask you again, just tell me how I feel. That's on my chest, so she saying like still. I'm like still. She like still, Batman. I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words hot like two flames. Niggas ain't got time for all the mood swings. Frontin' on a nigga, is that how we do things? Oh, work. Look, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With a sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Being great since the basics of many things. I fall short when looking at my enemies. Try to grade it your way in my memories. Welcome to the land of the wrong way to get into me. Can't stand still on islands of complicity. You looking at the nigga that you wish you could pretend to be. But I'm not really the kid's not mine. But you gon' remember me. Yeah, look. I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words out like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. No sir. Yeah, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Yeah. Whoa. God. Yeah. Gold frames. Switch lanes. Batman. Bruce Wayne. And I was like, feeling like I'm Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words hot like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Oh Lord, he done been here before. Know the city so big and take you on a tour. Money so big, you can buy any store. If you want more, supply you some more. Say you on a trip, leave your bags at the door. Said that she let them well, not anymore. Fuck a nigga floating on so high that I saw. Ain't shit new, man, it seem make me bored. Make a king mad, be surprised when he roar. Can a young nigga make money anymore? Throw the money up, watch the money hit the floor. Niggas say they hit and watch jazz hit the door. Fresh Prince, nah, I really how to feel. How to feel. Be around motherfuckers so real. Kryptonite is love and it can't get you killed. Ask you again, just tell me how I feel. That's on my chest, so she saying like still. I'm like still. She like still. Batman. I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words hot like two flames. Niggas ain't got time for all the mood swings. Frontin' on a nigga, is that how we do things? Oh, work. Look, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Being great since the basics of many things. I fall short when looking at my enemies. Try to grade it your way in my memories. Welcome to the land of the wrong way to get into me. Can't stand still on islands of complicity. You looking at the nigga that you wish you could pretend to be. But I'm not really the kid's not mine. But you gon' remember me. Yeah, look. And I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words out like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. No sir. Yeah, do you remember me? Rap down, magician, mix and remedies. A metaphor, elixir from within a dream. With the sleep, woke up and I'm still in a dream. Yeah. Whoa. God. Yeah. Gold frames. Switch lanes. Batman. Bruce Wayne. And I was like, feeling like I'm Bruce Wayne. Young spitter words hot like two flames. Front nod ain't really how we do things. Niggas ain't got time for all of the mood swings. Oh Lord, he done been here before. Know the city so big and take you on a tour. Money so big, you can buy any store. If you want more, supply